Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Pepe's Point of View. I'm your favorite host, your favorite R&B historian, your favorite music critic, Pepe. And I want to welcome you new viewers, you returning viewers, and you subscribers. Ladies and gentlemen, as I dish out the dirt on who dropped kicked who in these entertainment streets, literally and figuratively speaking. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't have any music news for you right now, but what I do have is some news that is occurring, nationally, ladies and gentlemen, in Canada and the surrounding border states. It would be the wildfires in Canada. And here we have it says that smoke from Canada's ongoing wildfires is once again affecting communities across the United States, raising concern about air quality, public health, and school safety. For those of you out there who don't know, I will share with you that I am a licensed professional school counselor. And so I work in public education. And when I was thinking about this, I actually was thinking about it from a public school mind frame, not only just a community issue, but a public school safety issue. And according to CBS News report, their article titled "Trees Vanished in Seconds: Canadian Wildfire Spread as Smoke Prompts Air Quality Alerts in 18 States." And it says air quality alerts are in place across at least 18 states, from Minnesota to New Hampshire to Virginia, as dangerous smoke continues to drift into the United States from Canadian wildfires. More than 100 fires remain out of control, while smoke from approximately 850 active wildfires has traveled more than 1,000 miles, reaching cities such as New York City. At least 9 additional large fires are also burning in northern Minnesota. So, as I said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a licensed professional school counseling working in a public school, and this story made me stop and think. When we have heat advisories, right, most people know what to do. We stay hydrated, keep cool, and avoid unnecessary outdoor activities. Those safety messages are familiar, but what happens when the danger is in the air itself? I found myself wondering whether our experiences during I call it the C-19 pandemic, helped us better understand poor air quality and the importance of protecting our lungs. Schools can certainly develop emergency plans and keep supplies on hand, but supplies do expire, ladies and gentlemen. So keep that in mind. We can, have schools, stockpile, certain kinds of things in situations like this. But, those supplies expire, and many schools districts are already working with limited budgets, staffing shortages, or both. Adding another safety measure isn't always as simple as it sounds. Even so, preparedness does matter. I believe this conversation extends beyond school buildings. Families also need information and practical guidance. If wildfire smoke becomes part of our reality, what should parents know? What are people encouraged to do when breathing smoke from wildfires? Are the recommendations similar to that we learned during, the C-19 pandemic, or do they require a different approach? Many schools are already adopting, or rather adapting, when air quality becomes a concern. According to Chalkbeat Newark's article, Newark Public Schools teachers get creative as wildfire smoke cancels outdoor summer programs. Newark Public Schools leaders move summer school activities indoors for the second day in a row as smoke from wildfires burning across Canada rolled into the state. Due to the heat advisory and air quality condition, all summer programs and activities will continue indoors, confirmed Paul Brubaker, Newark's Public Schools Communications Director. Sometimes moving activities indoors may be the most practical solution, but this raises larger questions that schools, families, and communities may need to answer together. As wildfire smoke continues to affect air quality across parts of the country, perhaps the question is no longer whether schools should prepare, but how they can prepare in ways that are practical, sustainable, and focused on keeping students and staff safe. This is Pepe's point of view, doing it Pepe style. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the commentary on this particular subject. I want to thank you guys out there, for staying, with me. And again, if you like this particular commentary, then why don't you go ahead on and hit the subscribe button, the like button, the share button. I definitely would appreciate that. And as always, whenever I leave my mother's presence, she always says to me, "Baby, remember I love you, but God loves you best." I look forward to seeing you out there again. And I look forward to seeing you next video. And remember, my motto over here is simple: put your behind where your heart desires to be, ladies and gentlemen. And on that note, see you next video.